Hi, this is Green Mice, and we only talk in this channel anything that makes sense. On November 10, 2015, people were rallying about having the minimum wage raised to $15 an hour. Some of them were complaining that they had been working in a company for a long time and they are still receiving the same low wage. They cannot afford to make ends meet, and some of them receive aid from the government like food stamps, saying their wages is not enough to feed their children and worried of not having to be able to send their children to college. It is a good idea that people are taking action now that there is a presidential election. In election times, candidates will try very hard to win the hearts of the voters. They will make you hear what you want to hear. They will promise good things to make the people of the country better. And one or two of them will be willing to raise the minimum wage. Why will candidates use these techniques in winning votes? Because there are more employees than employers. When President Bill Clinton ran for president, one of his promises was to raise the minimum wage. He won and raised the minimum wage. As far as I know, he was the only one at that time who promised to make that raise. And now Hillary Clinton and Sanders are using the same tactic. Do not be deceived by this propaganda. This raise or jacking up of the minimum wage is an illusion, a deception of your own imagination. What happened when Bill Clinton raised the minimum wage? It did solve some problems for a while, but after several years, we are the same condition again. It is a temporary fix. In several years from now, when some of your children are old enough to go to college, you may have to fight for a raise of the minimum wage again. This is a slow, ongoing cycle. Here are some of the disadvantages of raising the minimum wage. Raising the minimum wage will definitely cause inflation. Minimum wage is the bare minimum employers pay to workers. When it is raised, goods and services will also go up. There are more money in the employees' pockets, but the buying power is low. Businesses have to compensate the high cost of minimum wage. Where will they get the money to pay the minimum wage earners? They will have to raise the cost of their products and services. This is not magic. This is cause and effect. People with fixed income, like the retired recipients of the Social Security, will have hardship due to inflation. From the employer's point of view, it is harder for an employer to raise everybody's wage all at the same time. If you are an employee in a company, it is more affordable or easier in the pocket of the employer to raise only one or two wages than to raise the wages of the whole working population. As an employee with seniority or who had been working in a company for a long time, it is better for you to ask for a raise for yourself. Besides, you should not be receiving the same low pay as minimum wage if you have seniority in a company. What happens if the minimum wage is raised to $15 an hour? If you are receiving $15 an hour now, and if the minimum wage is raised to that amount, you even out your wage with the new employees. Your experience and seniority in the company is taken for granted. Asking for a raise of your wage is a better alternative. Another disadvantage is the high cost of minimum wage may cause employers to cut employees' hours, lay off some, and some may completely close business down. There are companies out there that have small investment money, cannot afford the high cost of wages, especially businesses who just started. This is election time. This is your opportunity to ask candidates who are willing to help the needs of the voters. What you need to ask your candidate is COLA, Cost of Living Allowance. Cost of Living Allowance adjusts your wages to the rising inflation. For example, each year you get 25 cents more added to your wage per hour in each year as you work in a company. This way, you don't be stuck with the same low wage all the time. That means no matter what you do, your wage will continuously go up as you stay longer in a company. Your wage will not be left out with inflation. This means that if you work in a company for a long time, in a few years, as you gradually belong to the middle class standard, a person who had been working in a company for a long time should be able to have a house and a car and be able to send his children to college. You deserve this COLA. If you work in a company for a long time, that means that you are hardworking, loyal, and will do anything for the business to profit. Corporations out there profit billions. Executives get paid in millions. The gap in monetary compensation between you and the executives is heaven and earth. These executives get paid more money they cannot consume or spend many of their lifetimes. All you are asking for is a trickle of what these people make, a comfortable life without assistance from food stamps. You need to work on getting a candidate who will support your cause. Look for a candidate who will promise to implement COLA as a bill to Congress and make it into a law. Do not rely on unions because you become dependent on them. Gather the same people asking for the minimum wage to be raised. The more people, the better. You have to be visible to candidates. When you do find a candidate, you will fully support that candidate all the way. If you can campaign for him or her, and when that candidate does win, you have to be vigilant about your cause. The president has to address your cause on his first State of the Union address. If he doesn't peacefully rally about your cause, you can make that change to your life and to the country. Good luck, and thank you for watching.